guys, my name is Sandra if you haven't been here before, and today we're going to do a makeup tutorial based on the Naked Urban Decay Cherry palette. I've done one look with this, I have used it already, but we're going to do a purple eye and a nude face, and then we're going to attempt to put on some eyelashes today. So the first step I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use the rest of my Clinique Moisture Surge. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the Tarte Maracujo oil because my skin feels pretty dry today. So I'm just going to put one dropper full and mix it together and put it all over my face. Sometimes in the morning I will actually use a sheet mask and just kind of rest for maybe 10-15 minutes and just let that moisture absorb into my skin. But today, I'm a little bit in a rush. We're actually going to take Connor to a movie today. We're going to go see the new Grinch movie, so that should be exciting. Alright, so my skin feels good. And I'm going to actually use a different primer today. So this one's the Maybelline Master Prime, and it does blur and have redness control. I have a little bit of redness going on here, and I don't know what's going on, but my under eyes are really dark today. So I'm going to take about that much. I'm going to put it everywhere, but I'm going to focus on my cheeks. And like I said before, primer, any type of primer, will just let the foundation and concealer adhere to your skin better and make it last longer. Next, we are going to go in with the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte today, and this shade is Golden Beige. It's actually a little bit darker, but we think we're going to use a later concealer, so it should balance out. This is kind of the color I would use during the summertime. Probably still going to look lighter than my forehead. I was debating whether I was going to go in with my sponge or my brush today, but I stuck with the sponge. I have a kabuki brush that I got in a set a long time ago that maybe we'll try it out next time to see how it applies. Sometimes it depends on the foundation too. So with the Fenty foundation, it's really quick drying, so sometimes, or maybe a brush would be better because it'll blend it out faster, especially if you have a larger brush. Okay, next I'm going to take the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and this is shade Vanilla. I haven't used this one yet, and it's probably going to be really light. My under eye circles are looks like I got punched in the eye. Like, seriously. When I opened the door for the mailman this morning, he was probably wondering, like, what the hell? Okay. And again, go in with your sponge. And you don't have to have this much concealer. Concealer back in the day was used only to cover up blemishes or your under eye circles, and you want to use a shade closer to your foundation shade if you're covering up blemishes. But when it comes to highlighting and contouring, because that's a thing nowadays, and the concealer will help you highlight. And you can use concealer also to contour, or you can use powder to highlight and contour. And my contacts have been giving me trouble today. And my allergies, I don't know if it's because of my two puppies that my allergies are acting up, or what, but my eyes have been extremely itchy lately. So I almost find this cover's similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. It's just kind of awkward because the bottle is so big, so if you were to take it traveling, it's a little awkward. It's nicer when they're a bit smaller. So to set my concealer and my foundation, I'm just going to use the lighter shades in my Park Ave Princess palette, the broken ones. So I don't think they're going to last that much longer. As you can see, it's really broken. But I really like the light, or the yellow shade to set on my under eye. It works really, really well. So I'm actually going to go in underneath my eyes, and I'm going to use a small brush. It's a small contour brush by Sigma, number F05, but I'm going to use it as a powder sweep and just to get under that eye area. And then we can go in with a bigger brush, a big fluffy brush, and then buff the rest of the face. And I love this palette. It smells like a mix between chocolate and vanilla, kind of like the hot cocoa mix. Smells so good. So now I'm just going to take this big fluffy brush. This one's from Costco, like one of the Costco sets I bought many, many years ago. And I'm just going to go in and put powder on the rest of my face and set my foundation. Okay, now we can go ahead and contour. So I'm actually going to use today this Morphe M530. It's kind of fluffy, but it's small enough that it's perfect to get into that area right underneath your cheekbone. So again, I'm just going to take all the 3 darker colors that are left in my palette, tap off the brush, suck in your cheeks, and start by your ear. And the color should be more concentrated up here, and you bring it down. I'll do the same thing to the other side. I'll put a little under the jawline. A little under the lip. And some on the hairline and around the temples to warm up your head. And this helps to pull your look together. You don't want to have huge contour on your face and then no other color anywhere else. Okay, and now for the nose, I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush. So this is the F04, the Extreme Structure Contour, also by Sigma. So I'm going to go in with a non-shimmery shade this time and just put it on the areas of my nose that I want to make look a little bit smaller. And if you go in with too much, you can just use a big fluffy brush to make it a little bit lighter and blend it in. Okay. Now we're going to go in with our blush brush. And today I'm going to take my Tarte Blush Bliss palette, and I'm actually going to swirl it in these 2 colors here. So we're going to mix them and just put it on your brush, tap it off, give a little smile, and blend it up into your contour. A little bit on the nose, a little bit on the chin, and I put a tiny bit on my forehead. Right, and now next I'm going to do my eyebrows. Sometimes, especially if you have bushy eyebrows, just brush them up so then you can get that straight line from the start of your eyebrow to the arch. You can see that darker line, And then we'll do some hair-like strokes up at the start of the brow. And fill it in just a little bit. And then what I like to do is I brush the brow down. I'm going to shape the top of my eyebrow. And then you come down into the tail. And now I have an eyebrow again. I look a little dark right now, but once we get the eye makeup on, they'll look normal again, I promise. I'm just going to brush that color in and blend it a little bit. Brush the front part of my brow up, and then the tail kind of down, and I shape it how I would like. And you can see here I made a tiny mistake. So what you can do, you can either use concealer, or you can use this product, and this is Fake Awake by Tarte, and all it is skin colored liner. So you can actually shape your brow, and then the other side, little blender. You can also just take your finger and blend it out, and then you fix your mistake. Okay, so we're just going to set our eyebrows quickly using some Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Eyebrow Gel. Did I have any flyaways? Because like I said, eyebrows are very small, very short. That gives it a put together look, and then your hairs will stay in place. And next, moving on. So now we're going to go ahead and work with our palette. So again, the Naked Urban Decay Cherry. This is what it looks like. Very pretty. I'm actually going to go in with the first light bone shade, and I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. This is the Soft Focus Shader by Sigma, the F52. I take that matte bone shade to set down my eyelid, and I put it all over. Again, this just helps to let all of the other shadows blend, and they won't skip over your eye. It gives it a clean slate, so to speak, to start with. Next, we're going to take a large T-tapered blending brush. This is the E40 by Sigma. And then I think we're going to do like a full purple eye. So I'm going to go in with, I think, this color here. It's a matte color. That will be our transition color today. So you put it in, tap it off. Any eyeshadow with a lot of pigment, always tap it off, especially the darker colors, because if you don't, it's all going to fall right here. It's called fallout. And either it's going to make your under eye look like a total mess, and if that ever happens, just take a big fluffy brush, put a little bit of powder on it from what you've used on your face, and sweep it away, and that sometimes works. If you're working with really shimmery colors, or a lot of sparkly colors, sometimes you want to do your eyes first, and I will do some eye looks like that coming up. I think for last date night, I did a pretty neutral eye with a bright red lip and black liner. And I think next time I'd like to rim the inside waterline of my eye. And I'm not sure what kind of color I'd go for, but I think I want to do something completely crazy. Okay, so we're not being too focused here. You just kind of blow it out all over the crease and onto the upper eyelid a little bit and kind of up by your brow bone. And it's a transition shade, so this just helps the other shades blend better. And the other shades, we are going to focus on the lid and into the crease as well. So even if you bring it up a little bit towards your eyebrow, that's good. So it'll just look all blended. And again, you can go back with the same brush and you can keep blending, add a little bit more of that color, even if you like, and blend out so there is no sharp or harsh lines. So this is what it looks like. So with the same brush, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of a purple shade. So this bright purple here. Put it in the shadow, tap off the excess, and we're going to put it in the crease as well and just be a little bit more focused, so not as blown out. And I'm going to keep it a little bit more toward the outside. Okay, so you can see it's a bit more purple. So now we want to darken the lid. think this is going to be a bit of a darker lid look. So I'm going to take a flat shader brush. This is the eye shading E55 by Sigma. And we're going to go in with the next dark purple shade here. And it doesn't have any sparkles. It's a matte shade as well. We're going to put this on the lid and then maybe add some sparkles after. So the whole lid is purple and there is fallout. I've actually shaken off my brush and there's still fallout. So we're going to have to try to sweep that powder away. So just all over the lid. And don't bring it up too high. We're going to have to blend it anyway. And just keep packing it on to get the desired shade that you like. Now we're going to take an even smaller brush. This is an Exact Blend E32 by Sigma. And I'm going to go in with the really dark color. It's more of a brown. And we're just going to put it on the outside corner to darken it up and give the eye a little bit more dimension. And I would say pretty close to the lash line. I'm not going to really take this up into the crease at all. So I'm just going to go in with my fluffy brush, sweep away any fallout, and then I'm going to go in with my tapered blending brush and put a little of that medium color onto my brush and just blend in the crease. And it'll blend out that outside dark shade as well. A little bit more. I think that's actually really pretty. So now we're going to add some highlighter, and today I'm going to go in with Maybelline Master Chrome, and this is in Molten Gold 100. And we're going to add some of the gold highlight to the inner corner of our eye. Whenever you have a darker color like this, you always want to give it a little brightening. So we're going to take a small brush, and I will take, it's a firm shader E57 I'm using. Take a little bit on my brush and put it right next to your tear duct here. I have to be really careful because my eyes are really, really itchy. In fact, I know I said I was going to do eyelashes, but I think I will stay away from them today just because of how itchy my eyes are. And even though eyelashes don't hurt if they are properly applied, they do irritate sometimes. So. And then we're going to take a highlight brush. This is a tapered highlighter F35. Put it in your highlighter. And I'm going to add some to the tip of my nose. See that gleaming gold highlight? And on my cupid's bow, chin, center of my forehead, and highlight my cheek. Then we're going to go in with a setting spray, and I'm going to use my Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1. You could give it a little shake and spray all over. You don't want to transfer color from your lower lid to the upper lid, so just keep your eyes closed until that setting spray dries. And we can quickly go in with the lower lash line. I'm going to take a tiny pencil brush and dip it into, I think this color here is going to be really pretty. And then I might just take a line of flat liner and put a little bit of a dark brown shade really close to my eyelashes. So this color is pretty dark for the lower lid, but because I'm not lining my eyes, it does give it a lot of dimension and definition. And I think it's really pretty because I haven't really done a dark eye color lately. I'm bringing it a little lower than I normally would as well. Blow it out on the lower lash line. It is a pretty color, very rich looking. And I'm just going to take a little bit of a fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M514. And blend it a little bit. And make sure it does blend into the upper eye line here. And it just pulls your eye look together. Okay, then we're going to take a flat shader. This is the E15 by Sigma. Put it into the shade as Privacy. And I'm going to line the upper and lower lash line. So just stay as close to the eyelashes as possible without poking yourself in the eye. And it's going to be a little smoky. It's not going to be exact because you are using a powder liner as opposed to a liquid liner or even a pencil. And on the bottom, I'm just going to stick close to the outside of my eye. I'm not going to go towards the middle at all. I don't want it near the inside corner of my eye because then it'll just make your eyes look a bit smaller. There we go. A smoky eye with purple shadow. Okay, next I will use my mascara, and I will use the L'Oreal Voluminous Feline. It's like my favorite right now. Wait for it to dry, and then take a Q-tip and wipe it off. It'll come off a lot easier when it's dry. Done and done. So next for lips, so I'm going to take my Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in 09 Spice and line my lips. And we're going to fill them in with a MAC lipstick. This is called Viva Glam 5. And it's a little bit shimmery, but it's more of a neutral tone. But it is a luster lipstick, so it has a little bit of glow to it. And that is the completed look. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.